think it's gonna be one of my favorite books of this year.
Easy my hunger, easy my head. Bringing me fire, bringing me water, taking me high, taking me down.
Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kalyn. If you haven't been here before, welcome or welcome back. I'm glad you're here. We have a very exciting video. I love doing 24-hour readathons. It's something that I have done ever since I've been on YouTube. I have been seeing a lot of people doing 48-hour readathons and I was like, why don't I give that a try? But I thought it would be really fun to just read as much as I can within 48 hours. So that's what we're gonna do today. Hello friends, before we get too much further into the video, this video is sponsored by the one and only Book of the Month. Book of the Month is by far one of my favorite book companies there is out there. For those of you curious what Book of the Month is, they are a super fast-growing and popular book service for readers everywhere. Their main mission is to promote new and emerging authors, as well as help readers find books that they'll love. Every month, their team goes through hundreds of book selections and gives readers their choice from a curated selection of new and early release titles. This allows you more time reading and less time researching, which is something we all need. They also are completely risk-free. You can skip any month, anytime, and you will not be charged at all. If there is a month that you aren't interested in any of the book selections, they actually have a backlist with a ton of selections for you to choose from. And let me tell you, they have some amazing books in their backlist selections. I think one of my favorite things about being a Book of the Month member is how it's almost like a built-in book club. And to add to that book club feel, they actually just started a new podcast called The Virtual Book Tour. I've personally listened to 2 of the episodes so far, and they film them in front of a live audience in New York City. They do amazing author interviews. I think it's a great way to find new books that you'll love, as well as geek out with other readers. I will leave a link to their podcast down below, and you can also listen to it on Apple and Spotify. They have some awesome selections this month, and one I am particularly excited for is The Stardust Thief. You guys know I love me a good fantasy series, and this is the start to a new fantasy series by Chelsea Abdullah. This is about our main character named Luli, who saves the life of a prince. This draws the attention of his powerful father, the Sultan, and he blackmails her into finding an ancient lamp that grants wishes, if that sounds familiar. I love fantasy books that have djinn in them, and this sounds like the perfect book to transport you to another place this summer. If you're interested in any of this month's selections, I will have their website linked down below, and you can use the code SUMMER to get your first book for only $9.99. Thank you so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video and supporting me and my channel. It means so much to me. Now let's get into reading as much as I can in 48 hours. Before I talk about all of the things that I want to read for this 48 hours, I wanted to mention thank you guys so much for your patience and your continued support. We recently put down my dog Hubert. We put him down, I think 3 weeks ago now, going on 3 weeks, on a Saturday, and it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I really didn't want to cry in this video, and I don't plan on crying in this video, but he was so important to me and so important to the story of my husband and I. He did so much for our relationship. He was seriously the most amazing dog that we've ever had. And as you can imagine, it's been really, really difficult for us, but every day is getting a little bit easier. I say as I'm like on the verge of crying, but yeah, it was one of the hardest things we've ever had to do, and I miss him every single day. You can see Winnie, she knows that I'm upset. It's okay, I'm okay. I didn't really want that to be the main focus of this video. I really wanted to just look at her. Oh, she's so sweet. I really just wanted this to be like a fun video where I could take my mind off of things and get back into reading again. It's been over these past few weeks, I haven't spent a lot of time reading just because it's been hard to concentrate on reading. So, you know, Teddy and I have been playing board games and watching movies and television shows and stuff, but it's been hard to focus on reading. So I thought this would be a good way to get back into it. And maybe I'll talk more about Hubert in a different video when I'm less like emotionally charged from it still. It's actually crazy that I still am because it's been a few weeks, but I think just talking about it is really hard. Wow! I just wanted to say thank you for your patience and for your thoughts and your prayers and all of your messages and comments regarding Hubert. I have felt a lot of love, and I've had so many amazing friends that have taken care of me and sent me sweet things. So thank you to those people who have commented, messaged, sent me things. Like, it really means the world to me. I just wanted to mention that really quickly because obviously in my last video I kind of touched on it, but yes, Hubert is no longer with us, unfortunately. So yeah, but anyways, let's get into the books that I'm gonna read. The rest of the video, I promise, is going to be positive. I'm kind of thinking it's gonna be very reminiscent of some of my old vlogs just because I want it to be casual and just reading and hanging out with you guys. Okay, so I have a little stack of books here and I might change it up depending on how I'm feeling throughout these next few days. First of all, I started this book earlier today. It is It's Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This is described as being Bridgerton meets Howl's Moving Castle, and I'm really enjoying it so far. The main character in this big time reminds me of Mr. Darcy, so very excited to continue on with this one. I also started this book a few weeks ago and I don't have that much left, so I would like to finish it if I can, but if it's too difficult for me to, then I won't. And it is You've Reached Sam, which deals with loss and grief and stuff like that. So that's why I don't know if I can finish it or not, but I'm gonna try because I'm almost done with it. Both of these are pretty short and I'm like I have a pretty good chunk out of each of them. So I feel like those would be good to help me finish. And then I also want to break it up with a graphic novel. So I have Heartstopper. This is volume 2. And then I also have Garden Spells, which I feel like I've talked about for the past like 5 videos. I really want to read this book, and it's again not a super long book, so I feel like I could finish this. It's also on Scribd, which I've had people ask me what audiobook companies that I recommend. Scribd is my #1 because it's a monthly payment and you can get as many audiobooks as you want within that monthly payment, and they're always adding new ones and changing them up. So that's my recommendation for audiobooks. And the last one I have is Shady Hollow, which is a cozy little mystery. Again, not super long. I also might pick up another graphic novel or manga to kind of break it up. But yes, that is the plan for my reading. I think what we're gonna start with is Half a Soul. Since I've been reading this morning, I feel like this will be a good one to start with, and then we'll see where it goes. It's also a beautiful day out, so I might read outside, and I want to bake something at some point too because I haven't baked anything. It's probably since Christmas now. So yeah, that's the plan. right, so I just got done reading volume 2 of Heartstopper, and I'm really glad that I finally read the second book in the series. I think I mentioned in my last video how it's been a few years since I read the first one. So I'm extremely happy that I finally read the second one, and now I can finish the series on Netflix. Speaking of Netflix though, Teddy and I have been watching season 4 of Stranger Things, the newest season that just came out. And for those of you that are watching, are you as blown away by this season as we are? We have 2 episodes left, and we watched 2 last night. One of them, which was the 4th episode, it's called Dear Billy. It was phenomenal, like crazy good. I've been a little bit disappointed in some of the shows that have come out recently. On pretty much every platform, to be honest, there's been a lot of shows that I've been disappointed in. And so I had my hopes pretty low because this is the 4th season. I feel like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th seasons of shows are just not always that great, but oh my gosh, it's so good. I have about 3 or 4 chapters left in Half a Soul, but I'm not really, I kind of want to take a break from it, which is why I read Heartstopper. So I think what I'm gonna read is You've Reached Sam. I'm gonna listen to it on audiobook because I have to make some dinner. I'll check in with you after I've read a little bit more. It is now day 2 of the readathon. I actually ended up finishing You've Reached Sam last night and I bawled. So I didn't end up vlogging afterwards because honestly this was really difficult to read right now, but also almost necessary, if that makes sense. I know I've talked about it a few times on my channel about how I think it's important to push yourself to read things that hurt. I've always really enjoyed reading books that make me cry or just like feel things. I love feeling things. I'm a big feeler, but I've never gone through something like I have gone through with Hubert before. And so I didn't really know how, like what to expect, how to heal, like the things that I could do to make me feel better. And I've slowly been finding those things, but I really think that reading this book helped with that a lot, even though it was really difficult, especially the ending. Obviously in this book, she loses a human, her boyfriend, someone she is in love with. So it's a little different, but I think some of the emotions that she felt and feeling like almost guilty for letting go really resonated with me. Since it's been a few weeks since Hubert has passed, each day obviously gets easier, but also I think there's this little part of me that feels guilty for not crying anymore, if that makes sense. And hearing the main character move on through this book and try to find what her new normal was, after losing Sam really resonated with me, even though, like I said, I lost an animal, I lost a dog, she lost a human, but we owned Hubert for 10 years and he was a huge part of our lives. I actually read a review from my friend Abigail from Abigail's Cup of Tea. I really enjoy her and her content a lot. If you haven't heard of her, I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, I'll link her channel down below. But she read this book when she lost her cat, and she wrote a review on how it helped her with that. And that was honestly one of the main reasons that I kind of decided to pick it up, is because I knew that it was coming. And I thought maybe if I could read something that I could relate to, or that could help me prepare, I guess, then maybe it would be easier. And it wasn't necessarily, but I'm really glad that I read this when I did. I don't think this book is for everyone. I don't think everyone would enjoy it, but for sentimental reasons and for when it came into my life, I really enjoyed it. So yeah. Okay, I'm done talking about that. So I finished 2 books yesterday and I'm really happy with that. I feel like that's a pretty good start to the readathon. I think I'm gonna finish the rest of this. It won't take me very long, maybe an hour, and then I'll choose between these 2. I also want to find one more graphic novel or manga to throw in here as well, because I know that I'm gonna want something else to like pick up. I don't have the 3rd one of this, otherwise I would pick that up, but it's like back ordered for a long time. I don't think I'm supposed to get it till the end of June, so that's a little sad. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where we go, but I feel like I could finish all of these potentially. I think I'm going to figure out something to bake. Actually, maybe we could do that right now together. So I don't really know what I'm feeling like. I think I kind of want to do scones because those are something that I love eating for breakfast. When I bake stuff, I like usually to bake things that I can eat for breakfast or something like that. Like usually I don't like to have a purely dessert thing unless it's like a birthday or something like that. But I think I'm gonna do scones maybe. And I feel like strawberry would be good because strawberry, ooh, strawberry lemon poppy seed. That sounds really good. I think I might make muffins. I don't think I've ever made just purely muffins before. And that sounds really good. I found this lemon poppy seed muffins. And that just sounds delicious. Okay, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Is do the lemon poppy seeds, because the only thing I would need to get is sour cream and poppy seeds and lemon. So I think I'm gonna order those groceries and go pick them up later. But first, let's finish reading this bad boy. All right, guys, I just finished Half a Soul and I really enjoyed it. It was super whimsical and magical, very fun and happy, and I'm really glad that I read it. It definitely gave me Pride and Prejudice vibes. I think it gave me more Pride and Prejudice than anything. Maybe a little bit Howl's Moving Castle because of like the fae and stuff in it. But I really liked how the fae in this were bad. I've talked about this before, I think. I love when fae are that traditional bad fae. And that's how they were in this. So I really enjoyed that part of it. I also loved how it was almost satirical, making fun of traditional English parties and royalty. This book has some scenes that take place in fairy, and the fae like to emulate the way that the English have parties and the conversations that they have and stuff. So it was really funny to see the fae kind of make fun of that while also trying to be like that as well. I loved that part. And yeah, it was a really easy read. I feel like this is also one that, even though it's a series, I think that it could be read by itself. Like the story finished and it was a good ending. It didn't feel like it needed another book in the series, but I definitely want to keep reading it because I think that her writing is really original. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think I would rate it a 4.5 stars. So if you like Howl's Moving Castle, Pride and Prejudice, Bridgerton, any of those things, I think that you will love this book, and it was just so easy to read and fly through. So yeah, I also got my groceries, so I think we're gonna make some lemon poppy seed muffins. And like I said, I haven't ever made muffins before, so I'm kind of excited to try something new. It seems like a really easy recipe as well. It only takes like 10 minutes to prepare. And so yeah, I will leave the link to the recipe down below if you guys are interested. Sitting down to try this. I also made myself some lunch, but I wanted to try this first. It's not as golden as the pictures. I put it in for a little bit longer to see if it would be like a little more golden on top, but it didn't. It does have it on the bottom though. I also poked it with a toothpick, so let's try it. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Yeah, these are really good. If you like lemon poppy seed, so good. It's also just so pretty. I think if I put some like powdered sugar on top of it, it would be really pretty. I was thinking tomorrow, before the readathon is over with, I would do a little picnic in my backyard because it's really pretty out there right now. And we'll bring some of these muffins with us, which I think will be fun. But yeah, this is really good. I'm very happy. Okay, I'm gonna eat my lunch and then we will get into more reading. I think I'm gonna read some garden spells. So let me eat first. It's now a little bit later. It's actually 6 o'clock and I am exhausted. I did read 2 chapters in this so far and I'm loving it. It's giving me major practical magic. It has a sister relationship and they're witchy, and the place that they live feels very practical magic-esque. So yeah, I'm really liking it so far and can't wait to keep reading it. I also love the descriptions that the author gives of some of the things that the main character Claire bakes. After just baking, I definitely, I don't know, feel like this book is resonating with me right now. So I'll keep reading this, but I think I'm actually gonna stop vlogging for today. I'm just so tired. So I'm gonna just get in my PJs and read some more. Just focus on reading and I'll see how far that I've gotten in this. But yeah, anyways, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Hello and good morning. It is now the 3rd day of the 48 hours, which means I only have about 3 hours until this 48 hours is over with. So I wanted to update you guys. I ended up reading a lot of this last night. I only have 1 chapter left and I'm loving it. It honestly reminds me so much of Practical Magic. Like, I feel like they could be sister stories. They are a lot alike, but I'm really liking it so far. It's definitely all of the vibes that I thought it would be. Just honestly, Practical Magic. If you like that movie or that book, then you'll love this. It's really good, really good. I think it's gonna be one of my favorite books of this year for sure. With only a chapter left, I am going to do a picnic. I think it's gonna take me no time to read it, so I'll probably bring another book out there with me, but we're gonna do a little picnic in the backyard. So I thought I would show you what I'm bringing. I actually got a new picnic basket for Easter from my parents, and it's so cute. I'll show you that as well. Okay, so here's my little picnic basket. I'm not sure where she got it. If I find out, I'll leave it linked down below, or I'll put where she got it down below. But I feel like it was like Home Goods or something like that. I can't remember. But you have a little refrigerated section on this side and this really cute green gingham pattern. There's cups, plates, silverware, everything, and it's just so cute. I love it. So I know that it's only gonna be me, but I'm bringing this anyway because it's so cute. I thought I would do a little charcuterie plate. Of course, my little muffins that I made, which I only have 5 left of. Teddy loved these and I love them too. So we went through those really quickly. And then something to drink. So I'm gonna bring my favorite thing in the whole entire world, my Alani Nu. That's my little picnic meal. I'm gonna pack it all up in the basket and get a blanket and we can go out there. But I also want to pick out another book. I was thinking this one, but I think it's gonna take me too long to get through it. And I want to try to get through a whole other book. We'll see, I don't know. So I might look through my books and see if there's a shorter book or if there's like a graphic novel or something that I can bring outside as well. But yeah, that's the plan. So let's pack it all up.
I've heard a story, I've heard it said, I've come to believe that love is a bet. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, and sometimes it calls you right in the move. Come to my table, come to my bed, go easy my hunger, easy my head, bringing me fire, bringing me water, taking me high, taking me down. Give me your pretty, give me your messy, give me your happy, give me your sad. I may be staying, I may be going, I may be left, I may fall apart. Come to my table, come to my bed, go easy my hunger, easy my head, bringing me fire, bringing me water, taking me high, taking me down.
Hey guys, so I have just got done from being outside, having a little picnic. It was so nice and so beautiful out. It started to get really hot though. So I don't know, that might be one of the last picnics until fall because it's getting really hot here. It's only been a day since I watered my flowers out there, but it's so hot that they're looking really sad. And I live in Colorado, like it's not supposed to be this hot, but it does get pretty hot during the summer. But I did end up finishing those 2 books. I finished this one first, and like I don't really have much else to say about it except that I loved it. I really recommend if you're into witchy, gardeny kinds of vibes. It's definitely like cottagecore witch 100%, and I really loved it. The tree in this was also adorable. I think I forgot to mention the characters had a lot of depth and their stories were all really interesting in how they grew and changed, and the relationships that they found with each other and other people. And I loved how it was very much about destiny and like the people that you're supposed to have in your life. I really enjoyed that. And like I said, the tree in this actually has a really cute personality as well. So it was just fun. It had a lot of morals to the story, a lot of lessons learned. There was romance, there was like a little bit of mystery and stuff too. So yeah, definitely gonna be one of my favorite books of this year, I'm pretty sure. And then I also finished reading the Tea Dragon Tapestry. And again, I always love Kay O'Neill's books. I think that they do a really good job with their writing and the colors, and everything about this is amazing. And again, this is another book that has a lot of things that the characters learn throughout, not just the main characters, but the side characters are constantly changing and learning. And I just think it has a lot of good messages for young, old, whoever. It's just a really sweet book and a beautiful book to look at as well. It's also almost noon, which means that this 48 hours is coming to an end. This is definitely the most books I've read in a long time. I think I've only read like 5 books this whole year, and I just added 5 more. So I feel like that's really good for me. I'm a little bit of a slow reader sometimes, so I'm happy with reading 5 books. Honestly, I loved all of them for different reasons. I'm not sure what I will rate them for sure yet. So stay tuned. They'll probably be on my Goodreads, and of course if I make like an end of the year favorite books, you'll see if any of these make it onto it. But that is all. I just wanted to give a quick final thoughts about this. I definitely recommend dedicating 24 hours or 48 hours to just reading. It honestly feels healing, and it almost gives you permission to read. That's something that I have a lot of trouble with, is when I have tons of other things to do around the house or with work or whatever it may be. I tend to not read because it's hard for me to give permission to myself to spend that time on myself with reading. But I think dedicating a day or a few days to reading can be really helpful. And I feel like a lot of people don't read, 5 books within a year. Some people, they don't even have time to read a few. I think it's a really good way to read more if that's a goal that you have every year. I definitely highly recommend doing this. And I for sure will be doing it again in the future whenever I'm feeling like I need to read some more. Those are my thoughts on reading as much as I can in 48 hours, but that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you again for being patient with me while I go through this time with Hubert. I am feeling so much better, so I'm hoping to get back into the groove of things again. But that's all for now. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!